Yo, what up? We back with another edition of RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And today we're going to talk about doing time while you're in a relationship versus a relationship free bid. Me personally, I've been in both. I prefer a relationship free bid, meaning I prefer to do my time when I'm not in a relationship. And the reason I say this is past experience. So my first bid, I came I came to prison with a girlfriend, actually the mother of my kids. Um, 10-year relationship, and prison is cancerous to relationships, families, homes. So 10-year relationship out the window, not even 1 year in. Um, I'm not going to go into the details of what the young lady did specifically because it's not about that. It's about what it did to me versus when I came back to prison my second time and I was relationship free. So the first one, I came to prison and I only had a 3 year sentence. I was only sentenced to 3 years. And within the first maybe few months, I became single. So what that did was that kind of took the focus off of what I was going through, what I needed to do, and where my mind needed to be at, and put it in an unhealthy place. And I was one of them guys that I like. I see him now. I see the guys yelling on the phone and slamming the phones down, and I'm like, I don't never want to be one of those. But I was actually one of them. The only reason I wasn't doing all the theatrics on the phones is because the prison that we was in, it was a gang block, and it was a 23-in-1 facility, being meaning that we only got to come out ourselves for 1 hour. That 1 hour you had to shower, exercise, congregate, use the phone, whatever you wanted to do outside that cell had to be done in that 1 hour. So you only get six phone calls a day too, and an hour is not enough time to do all of the stuff that I wanted to do. So I really didn't play the phone that much. I did a lot of writing though, and I would write her, she'd write me back, full blown arguments, and it would put me in a negative state of mind to where a lot of stuff that I would let go, I was just on edge. I took a lot of box trips that bid that I was in a relationship. Um, got into a lot of fights, some that I got caught for, some I didn't get caught for. But I just was running around real emotional, easily moved. Whereas the second time I came back to prison, way longer than 3 years, was a 12-year sentence. I had no girlfriend. I was not in a relationship. And I almost could say that it was almost stress free. Aside from the problems that my kids were going through, because the fact that I was in there changed their lives dramatically also. So I was the breadwinner of the family, even though I was the one without a job. Like my kids' mom went to work and tried to do things the right way. I tried to do things my way. So it was a lucrative decision because I made a lot of money. But when I got caught, it wasn't worth it because I went to prison and my kids suffered, and I can guarantee you that if they had a choice, they would have gave back all that money and never accepted it just to keep their father and never go through all the turmoils and trials that they went through. And another thing, I just feel like when you in a relationship in prison, there's too much shit you gotta overlook, let slide, ignore, and accept. Let me break it down. For one, you gotta overlook the fact that she's free and may not be able to tell you everything that's going on in her life, depending on the type of person you are, how sensitive you are, how emotional you are. Some females would choose, well, I'm not going to tell them that this guy at my job keeps hitting on me. And that's just that's type of stuff you got to overlook. A lot of stuff you got to let slide as far as a lot of females believe that just because you're in prison, they get to treat you and your feelings any way they want and do whatever they want. And that's not fair also. It's not right. But you're in prison, you got to let a lot of stuff slide because this might be your only outlet, you know? Don't be dependent on her because now she feel like I take care of you, so I get to do it. Don't ask me no questions. She don't move from your girlfriend to your mother. Don't ask no questions because I take care of you. And I was never one that was good at letting shit slide. Like I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm going to tell you what I think about you. If you did some slimy shit, I'm going to tell you that's some slimy shit. It's hard for me to hold my tongue. I was never the type that was good at, well, I better not say this because I'm in prison and she might get mad. I was the one in prison cutting people off, to be honest with you. I remember I had a conversation with one of my female friends and I was like, you know what? If you're going to be stressing me out, I'll just talk to you when I get home because I got a lot of time and I definitely didn't want to do my second bid the way I did my first bid with all that stress. So if I seen stress coming, I try to spot it from a mile away and I'd cut you off. Like, I am not doing this. I'm not going to be going in the box because I put my hands on somebody. I mean, that's a CO literally told me that. He said, Smith, and this was one of the officers that worked the box. I went to the box so much because of the stress and the emotional battles that I was dealing with this woman. And we're gonna pick up right where we left off at accepting. You have to accept that free people will eventually want to do free things. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't work because I've been to the visiting room and I've seen guys with the same female every visit. But I'm just saying that that's rare, you know? The average free person wants to do free things, you know? So if you find somebody that loves you enough and you're important enough to them for them to put their life on hold for you, kudos to you. But the average person, you can't get mad if somebody is saying, "Hey, I don't want to put," especially because I've been in situations where females told me before I went to prison, "Hey, I don't do jail. I don't do jail. So like, you free. We could do whatever we want to do, but you go to prison, I don't do jail." I had another female tell me, "Listen, I love you to death. I'll hold you down financially, but when I get horny, I'm gonna go do what I want to do." Who wants to be in a relationship like that? So